It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Hello, welcome to this week's Picks. I'm Tony Softli. Sitting next to me is Randy Karraker. Randy, Monday Night Football, Seattle, a little bit of a debacle. It kind of started out nice, competitive, tough. They had a chance, and it kind of faded as it further it went.
Which is typical of Rams football this year. Once a team starts to establish themselves and really set the tempo of the game and pound on the Rams a little bit, that happens. Defensively, they fall apart because the defense is on the field too much. The offense can't stay on the field enough, and that's just part and parcel of what the Rams are in 2011.
You know, I wrote a piece about 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago on 101sports.com on Sam Bradford. Sitting Sam Bradford, protecting your investment. If he can't protect himself with mobility and escapability, and they're having a hard time protecting him, why stick your product out there? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he is your key investment. He's a $50 million quarterback that you can give $78 million to. You went 1-15 to get the guy. Your offensive line is a complete mess. I don't know why you would continue to play him. After this game against Cincinnati, the Rams only have 2 games left. They aren't going anywhere. Sam Bradford isn't going to improve. He likely isn't going to be in this system next year. So I really don't see a scenario as to why the Rams should play him.
Oh, he's currently in a protective booth. Doubtful that he'll play on Sunday. So they'll be looking at Kellen Clemens at the helm, a journeyman from around the league. We've all seen what he's done. He's more of an emergency backup type guy. He'll be facing the 7th-ranked defense in the National Football League, led by Ray Maluga. Your thoughts on that defense?
It's interesting because they don't have a lot of names of guys that they drafted. They have guys like Thomas Howard and Manny Lawson, an outside linebacker. You know, their cornerbacks are guys that have been around the block, Nate Clemens and Pac-Man Jones, but they're very effective up front, and they've been able to straighten out some of their guys. Maluga in the middle, a guy like Frosty Rucker from USC had his problems. Well, those guys apparently are on the straight and narrow now, and they're playing very well. They're a tough team.
Yeah, they are, and they're stingy on defense. The back end is playing well. I like what they do with the safeties. Nate Clements comes into that nickel package and plays real well inside. But when I look at this team, I really get excited about the offense. When you look at Dalton, who was the 35th pick overall, then you look at A.J. Green, who he's throwing to. You got Cedric Benson, who can run the ball. You got Bernard Scott backing him up as a 1-2 punch. This team has a chance to be very dangerous moving forward, and they're playing for a wild card spot this weekend.
And they're very strong on the perimeter in the running game, too. We don't hear much about the inside part of their offensive line, but we all know about Andre Smith, 6th pick in the draft the year that Jason Smith was number 2, and then Andrew Whitworth at left tackle is a good player. Plus, they get great work out of Jermaine Gresham, their tight end. So when you talk about the perimeter, you talked about their receivers, and when you talk about the tight end, you talk about the running back running on the perimeter. They're pretty darn effective. And the great thing about Andy Dalton is he puts the ball where it's supposed to be. For a rookie quarterback, he really doesn't make many mistakes. No. He seems to be very poised and have an understanding of what he's doing.
You know, you talk about the Rams defense, Laurinaitis and those guys have been playing very well, just haven't been on the field too long. Really struggled to stop the run early. A couple big games they gave up would really put them behind and puts them at the back end of the ranking as far as defenses. How do they stop Cedric Benson? What do you see these guys are doing? What's the game plan for Ken Flagel?
Well, I think you can go into a game and be really confident with Chris Long, with James Laurinaitis, with Quentin Michael. I don't think there's another player on this defense where you go into the game and say, okay, he's going to be a big part of us winning the game today. That's the problem with the Rams defensively. They just don't have enough good players. So if I'm the Rams, what I want to do is try to get the lead early and see if I can force Dalton into a throwing situation. Obviously, the Rams have not had many leads, but if you're going to win a game like this, that's what you have to do. You have to make it so that they can't pound the ball at you on a consistent basis.
I think you hit it on the head. No more to be said other than our picks. What do you think?
I think Cincinnati will win this game. I would say that a 24-10 final would be fitting for a game like this one. I don't think that they're going to be explosive. I don't think they'll put up 37 like Baltimore did. And I do think that the Rams can score a little bit on them. 10 would be a revelation for the Rams offense these days.
I'm going with Cincinnati as well. I think 23-13. I think they'll struggle a little bit on offense just because the inconsistency and the lack of continuity between the receivers and the new quarterback, and also that offensive line has been jumbled around and meshed around. I think the defense keeps them close, but I think that Cincinnati wins it at the end. For Tony Softli, Randy Karraker, appreciate you tuning in, and make ssure you log on to 101sports.com, and don't forget TonySoftly.com as well. See you next week.